Edison Motors, your job, your credit. Edison Motors, your job, your credit. Ford Hondas, Chevy Beamers, and minivans. Over 600 cars, trucks, subs. Are you listening, man? Can you give me some shots vodka, please? Edison Motors, your job, your credit. Edison Motors, your job, your credit. It's gonna be on YouTube for sure. For sure, man. I'm gonna kill you.
All right, we're back. There's a little brief technical hiccup when Safe left, so
Safe. On StreamYard, there's two buttons that are like very similar. There's like the exit leave studio button at the bottom, which is red and has like an arrow. But there's also a big red button in the top right corner that says end stream. And so
yeah, no, I do it all the time too. I think I've botched it up on a recording or two doing that as well. It's
so on Safe.
We gotta get the friends at StreamYard have to tidy that up a little bit.
Safe just ended the stream when he left. Which is a pretty good gag, to be fair. You just decided to shut it down.
I guess that's a good segue to talk about in all of Jake and I's depression and Chris's as well. Last.
This kitchen is so hard to clean. If only there was an easier way.
This sink is filthy. Hi, I'm Derek Bum. This greasy hob. New kitchen gun. Grubby tiles. Goodbye, Kurt. Rusty tack. All clean again. Kitchen gun. Kitchen gun.
Reason why I do that is the smug ass look on that guy's face when he walks in frame. Like, that's my reaction every time Hopkins loses. So last night, Hopkins got pretty pummeled by UNC, 17-9.
We didn't do this when Safe was on? What the hell?
I was going to do it, and then he
knew it was
left.
coming.
His timing was impeccable.
He left.
Damn it.
Dude, if I have to rank UNC, I might go full Bill Simmons here. I'm not going to rank UNC number one. I'm just not.
I don't know. Like, yeah, they're winning games, but are they impressing me? I mean, that was their best win by far last night, and it was a good win, but, like, they beat Jacksonville by 1, and they beat High Point and Iona.
They're a really good team. They have, it's odd, like, I think if it was anyone other than UNC, we'd probably feel differently, but because it's UNC, it's Wambach is pretty clearly their best player. I think without him, that's a, like, if you took Mullen off of Syracuse, I still think that's a top 5 team. If you took Maryland's faceoff guys away, maybe they'll still be a top 5 team by the end. Georgetown's interesting with Ross Prince. I think Carolina, to me, is a top 10 team with the best faceoff guy. And look, there's nothing, you're not cheating by having a great faceoff guy. But it's just a bit, like, at one point in this game, Carolina led by 5, and I think they had like 10 more possessions or something like that. It's like, there's nothing, if you're Hopkins, there's nothing you can do with that. And their Hopkins goalie, Dash Flamity, another Bill Simmons reference, body language doctor that was bad. Kid looked like he had stage fright. UNC 10+10, 40 or 43-22. Jesus, that'd be insane. I think it was, Lax reference says 44-34. But it really got, like, it got bad. It got bad in that end of that second half. This was what, 10-8, I think, or 11-9, and then it just 12-8, something like that, and that was turned into a blowout.
Mm-hmm. Best win by UNC, obviously. I didn't even watch the High Point game, but I know they got mollywopped again today by Ohio State in the Fighting Nick Myerses. I don't really think the Jacksonville game, like, we all do the early February overreaction, like, oh my God, is Dom Petramella like washed and Owen Duffy washed, and then they have like pretty good games. Like, great. I want to see what else North Carolina has. Like, I'm curious for you guys, like, since we talked earlier in the stream that Safe ended, like, how many teams do you think are going to get number one votes this week? North Carolina,
Yeah.
probably the winner of Georgetown, Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Do we think Richmond? Do we think Cornell? I have at least three. I don't know about Cornell.
I don't know if Richmond will.
Cornell might.
I might vote Richmond. We'll see what happens. I might
There
I
might
might
be a
vote
rogue
Richmond.
Richmond or two voter.
So I think
There's
this
gonna be
is a
some
better way.
rogue Richmonds.
I think this is a really more interesting way of thinking about this. I don't know if Richmond will get number one votes, but if you put Richmond on a neutral field against, let's just take Syracuse, like Richmond versus Syracuse on a neutral field, Syracuse gets 1.5 maybe.
Easily, yeah. It's Syracuse minus 1.5.
Yeah, Richmond again, like right now. Like
I would take Richmond plus 1.5.
If you was Richmond, so I don't think Richmond beating UNC from last year should matter, but this is where it gets more interesting. If Richmond UNC played on a neutral field, I would 100% take Richmond, no matter what they were doing.
I mean, the good news about this is, guess who Richmond plays next week?
Cornell.
Yep. So
Yeah.
we got a nice, interesting look next week in Ithaca.
I think, yeah, like that to me is more interesting because I think I said this earlier when Cuse was winning, so it obviously aged great. I said, I don't know if they would because Gil in our chat said last week he thought Richmond was a top 3 team. I was like, I don't know if they'll be a top 3 team in May, but right now, just seeing how they're playing, the only team to me that has been more impressive than them was Cuse all season. Like they're a top 3 team right now. If they played anybody today, I think they could definitely beat anybody, and I would take them over. Again, a lot of teams. So I don't know how many. I think 3 or 4 teams probably get number one votes. I tweeted this out. This is the first time we've had 3 number ones in 3 weeks since 24, which that obviously proved to be a fake out. Notre Dame won every game the rest of the year. But I went looking. I went through all the IL polls, going back they have it through 2017. Once you get to 2016, it dead internets you. But since 2017, there had not been 3 number one teams in February, and we're gonna have 3 number one teams in February by this week. Now that's a little cheating because sometimes it's the team will lose the last week of February, and then there's a new number one the first week of March. But yeah, I mean, so who does? UNC doesn't play anybody next week, right?
No, they have the double with Penn and Princeton.
What am I
They do
thinking?
play someone, yes.
Yeah, they do play someone.
I mean, Penn's
by the way,
Right.
before you go, Richmond has Cornell next week. In 2 weeks, they have Georgetown.
Yep. And they still got Notre Dame down in later in the year too.
They're going to be tested, and we'll see about Maryland. I think they should play that game. They better play that game. If not, I am finding names and I'm doing something.
I mean, this was the thing at the time. Richmond 100% wanted that game played because it obviously mattered more to Richmond, content resume wise. But I think they would have won. I mean, judging by the Maryland we've seen so far, I think at home, I think Richmond would have won that game. Maybe
Maryland is Notre Dame next week, by the way.
Yep.
We got a nice week next week.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Stacked.
So
UNC has Penn and Princeton, which Penn is not going to. Penn's not going to be a slouch there for him. I mean,
I think it's Penn and Princeton, and then Cuse has Princeton on that Friday, then Penn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's that. Richmond plays Cornell. Georgetown plays Ohio State. So no matter who the number one is, there's a very reasonable chance it's going to change again next week.
Yeah, Notre Dame, Maryland.
Notre Dame, Maryland.
Yeah.
So no matter who it is, there's just as much of a chance that it's different next week. I've been saying this, I don't think we're going to have a settled picture for another month. Usually we at least have some picture the first week of March, second week. I think it could be until late March, early April before it really all shakes out. Just because of all the postponements and a lot of these teams clearly just are not,
Wait till mid-March.
Definitely. I think it could be maybe like, but maybe not. I mean,
Late.
we'll maybe we'll see. I don't understand. I don't get the Notre Dame thing. Notre Dame has played. ESPN has broadcasted games inside
Yeah.
their like on television.
Yeah.
There's been games in Loftus, so I don't know why it's.
I don't know if there's like there are renovations in Loftus for some reason they can't stream, but like I think if you have an indoor, I think my whole thing is, and I've written on this, like whether like this is mainly about like pushing the season back to, I think it should start. It started last week, the 14th President's Day weekend, whatever. If you have to play a game like this is God's year 2026. You should be able to find a way, even if this is a one camera that Virginia did against Colgate, just a one camera with that feed. You have ACC network production, blah, blah, blah. Like, you should be able to stream that game. Like, it is a crime against humanity and against NATO and whatever else the UN. That this game is not being streamed. Yeah, Notre Dame literally streamed from Loftus last week.
That game was at Marquette.
Field is stick. Sorry, you liar. It was at Marquette. Marquette can stream. Good job, Marquette.
Isn't Marquette's bubble like literally just a inflatable thing?
It's just their it's just their field that's in the bubble.
That's hilarious.
Which I feel like they play the entire season in that bubble, except maybe like one game where it's like, hey, it's nice and it's April 15th. Let's just tear the bubble down.
Well, Tuesday was at Arlotta.
Yep.
I guess my thing is also. I mean, I know is there supposed to be snow like in South Bend or something? Is it?
Let me see. I know we're getting walloped again with another nor'easter tomorrow.
It was 65 today in Atlanta and 70s.
It is going to snow. It is going to snow tomorrow in South Bend. It's not the nor'easter that we're getting walloped.
Bellarmine was streamed, but the game was outdoors at Arlotta.
Yeah.
So I mean, listen, this is not me like saying.
What happened to the game I love? Why are we not playing outside? Neon green balls. What happened to the game I love?
This is the biggest.
Can't even stream games.
What was the last like big game that wasn't streamed at all? I mean, this has got to be going back like.
It'll be a while.
Wasn't there a Maryland Notre Dame game that wasn't streamed or something?
No, even when Maryland Notre Dame was at Loftus, I remember that it was like 2019. Maryland played Notre Dame inside Loftus, and that game got streamed.
Why do I feel like there was a Maryland Notre Dame game that wasn't supposed to be streamed, but then because of peer pressure, they were able to stream it or something?
Yeah, it was
like
one
that?
of the neutral site ones. One of the neutral site ones.
Those were like the
California ones.
Yeah, those are the California, but those don't they have like?
I feel like those are always streamed on YouTube.
Yeah,
and the YouTube chats for a while.
I remember Maryland played Duke like years ago, over 10 years ago, and it was number 1 versus number 2, and there was no stream. But that was 2014, which is a different
different
time.
Era.
I mean, someone's at least got like I don't know. Some of these games stream is a little, generous. Like that Rutgers Army game was vertigo inducing, but that's something at least.
Yeah.
I mean, it's. I remember some of those Penn State games in 2020 didn't get streamed. We checked the box score and they put up 27. Yeah. But this is a top 5, top something game, and it's not being streamed. It's not being streamed
in a place that has been streamed multiple times over the last few years. And does Notre Dame basketball play?
Indy basketball. Yeah, we'll do this, and then we're running way over time, so we're gonna do a look across the scoreboard in a second. Let me just check that question for you, Chris. No, Notre Dame men don't. Let me see if the women do. Women might. Let me see.
But still, I feel like that should be a problem.
No, Notre Dame's on the road tomorrow. Notre Dame women.
This is a crime. This is a war crime. That's all I got to say. It's a war crime. By the way, 15-15 VMI Hampton, 4 minutes left. That was 9 minutes ago. So,
there's your answer for biggest game that didn't have streaming.
I'm loving this boogie guy. Like just people like refusing to acknowledge that Hampton could possibly score like 50 goals. I hope he's right. Like that'd be sick, and he gets a.
I'm going on the Instagram now to see what's up because this one lady has been updating at halftime.
Oh, sick.
Everyone's all asking if it's a final. Hold on.
All right, so while Chris is doing that, let's go around the scoreboard real quick. So last night, other games, Dartmouth beats Vermont 15-10, which is kind of funny that they moved it to Hooksett, New Hampshire, in the indoor facility there, because that's in between Concord and Manchester, which is the opposite direction of where both those schools are. But Dartmouth wins 15-10. Robert Morris beats Canisius 11-8. St. Joe's in a thriller beats Towson 12-11. Shout out St. Joe's announcers booth, elite as ever. Loyola beats UMBC 12-8. In today's action, Bucknell beats Hobart 12-10. Ohio State 13-5 over High Point. We didn't even talk about Duke Jacksonville. So Duke wins 16-10 over Jacksonville. So Jacksonville once again playing the Buffalo Bills, Toronto Blue Jays role of, they lost, but they look good. They're 1-3, but they've looked good against Rutgers, UNC, and Duke now. They're still 1-3, but
Jacksonville's played a tougher schedule than Duke.
Yes. I mean, Hampton's played a tougher schedule than Duke until today. So, actually, I shouldn't say that. They played Utah. Utah's decent, but
I mean, I guess, yeah, maybe.
Delaware's nightmare start to season continues with a 14-6 loss to Penn. Good week for Penn, though, with wins over Albany and Delaware this week. They beat Albany earlier in the week. Marist beats Binghamton 9-6, otherwise known as 6-9. Chris,
Nice.
There you go. Nice.
Yeah. We did mention earlier Yale beat BU 16-11, so Yale finishes the job this time and finish their hot start like they did last week against Army, but this time they hang on. Utah beats Merrimack 17-8. Providence Derby goes into overtime. Brown wins 8-7. So Ivy League, what a day for them today. Undefeated today, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think
so
good said like 9-0 this week.
Yeah, so very good week for the Ivies. The state of Long Island lacrosse part 1. Virginia beats Stony Brook 19-7. So Virginia with a ho-hum victory. No drama there for the Who's for a change. Albany rebounds from that loss to Penn with a 17-9 win over Drexel. By the way, there was an 18-7 in that Virginia Stony Brook game.
Virginia Hopkins next week might be the biggest non-con game of, like, that's whoever wins that game.
Loser goes home, basically.
It's got some loser go home vibes to it. It sounds kind of crazy to say, but it's pretty substantial for both those teams.
Fairfield beats Manhattan 15-9. Bryant beats Quinnipiac 14-7. Bellarmine 15-9 over Detroit Mercy. Marquette with a 9-7 win over Cleveland State. Cleveland State was putting them on upset watch for a bit there, but Marquette wins that one. UMass Lowell 16-7 over Wagner. Holy Cross 12-5 win over Lemoyne. The bright spot of Long Island lacrosse, LIU 16-10 over Iona. Rutgers hangs on to beat Villanova 8-7. That was a weird game. Only 2 combined goals the entire second half. Villanova led in the first quarter, but Rutgers pulled ahead in the second quarter. They hold off to win 8-7. Rutgers, very weird case where like they're a top 20 team, but haven't looked impressive at all, but they're winning games. So
who has?
Right. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So I guess UMass was in a scary position today against NJIT. They spotted a 3-0 hole to the Highlanders, but they hang on 18-14. Lafayette beats Mount St. Mary's 19-5. And in the depression that is the state of Long Island lacrosse part 2, St. John's beats Hofstra 9-8 in a game that was played at Farmingdale State College, not even at Stewart. And St. John's beats Hofstra. Yeah.
Incredible.
Hofstra's just giving us terrible content every week. What else?
Well, it's embarrassing. Like it's an embarrassing state of play at Hofstra. Seth Tierney hasn't recruited in like 8 years. Like I don't know what I just don't get it. Their logo's bad now. They changed the logo. It's not
The
good.
logo stinks.
What? Just I don't know what's happening.
At least
there, dude.
basketball is decent, so I guess that's all they care about.
Yeah, they got Speedy Clash and they
Seth
beat
Tierney's
Case in the Dome.
Yeah.
It's rough. They lost to Holy Cross.
Thank you for helping us get rid of Red Autry.
Yes, thanks, Hauser. As if the rest of ACC play didn't do that already.
Yeah.
But
Imagine you lost to a school who disemboweled each other a few years ago. That's
It's not good. It's not great. When you lose to St. John's, it's not good.
Yeah.
It's bad.
St. John's is like, I will say St. John's is kind of decent. Like
I don't know, because Delaware is looking
It's also
awful.
Delaware's bad. Delaware bad.
Yeah, Delaware's looking awful.
Delaware might be cheeks.
St. John's is like a key. St. John's is like a key
They're
recession
2-2
indicator.
St. John's is. Beat Quinnipiac bad. Hofstra. Yeah.
Quinnipiac.
They lost 17-10 in the game of the year to NJIT, and then they lost by 1 to Delaware.
Yeah, during the Super Bowl. Forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yes, you won. Yeah, I mean, like, I'll give Hofstra a little bit of a pass with the Siena game. That was a very emotional home opener for the Saints.
No,
So
Stony Brook and Hofstra are combined 1-6.
yeah,
It's ugly. Yeah, St. John's was down 8-0 to like Delaware at one point, and Delaware's really that's had a rough. I don't know what's going on with Delaware. Like, it's been a
weird year.
So they should be better than they are. Should they be good? I guess it's all about what's your frame of reference. Should they be top 20 teams?
They should be at least. I wouldn't say top 10 teams, but like I know Danowski had Hofstra at such heights and everything, and Stony Brook hosted a game in the early 2010s, hosted a first round game, but like they should be able to retain some talent. Like the Stony Brook women have been successful in retaining on island talent.
Hampton tweeted out 15-15, 2:29 left.
10 minutes ago.
10 minutes ago.
So something has happened.
Mystery continues.
Is this actually Hampton's official account?
That is Hampton's official account. They have they changed accounts a few years ago.
Oh, so they actually have tweeted more recently than like 20.
Yes. They're more active now. A lot of people just don't know it because that's how like far off Hampton has been, with all due respect to Hampton. Nothing yet from VMI. So here, if Hampton does win, does VMI ever tweet from that account ever again, or do they just completely say this game never happened?
Probably shouldn't. VMI,
VMI probably should. I mean, the VMI accounts like openly lobbying to keep their school alive. So
the VMI thing is really unfortunate because James Purpura did a really awesome job there. I mean, they won like 10 games either last year or the year before that, and now it's just
he's at Ohio State.
He went to Ohio State, and as you said, the school is not in great shape.
May or may not exist in 2 years.
It's pretty unfortunate. They tweeted this 14. They tweeted this 14 minutes ago. We have to assume they lost, right? Like I don't, or did they? Or are they celebrating so they can't?
Something has had to have happened. We
don't know. Something had to have happened. That's wild.
Did VMI go January 6th on them?
There we go. There it is. So just from Mark's point, like you're all ready to shout. It's the school itself. There's the politics in Virginia right now. Very touchy subject with VMI, but basically they're looking to cut off the funding for the school, which would thus end it because it is a public institution. Department of Defense is trying to butt in and keep it alive and things like that. So it is a pretty messy situation with VMI.
And that's probably like a reason why, like, I'm looking at their staff, like the VMI staff. It's not like, I don't think you're going to have like good assistants, but someone like Papura who had he was leading a good job. He goes to Ohio State as an offensive coordinator, and like that's obviously a promotion, like a bump up for him, even though he go from head coach to assistant. Their staff is not that great. And I even think too, like, talking to people about when JB Clark left Limestone for Tampa, and now look what happened to Limestone. My sense is like that job, and people get to know about like what VMI is and where Limestone was, and perhaps there's a reason why it's like, yeah, they're getting like that staff. And I've heard some things about the VMI head coach and coaching staff that it's not the best, and I think a lot of VMI kids did enter their names into the transfer portal before the season started. So that might be where they're at. There might be some writing on the wall.
This is a broader conversation for a much different time, all-season type thing.
Yes.
There's a lot of programs, not a lot, I should say, but there's a number of programs out there where you look at the coaching staff that they have, you look at the change in coaching staff and just program, I don't know, investment's the right word, but just attention compared to where it was maybe, let's say, pre-COVID or around when COVID occurred. And you do kind of wonder, like, what's the outlook here? Like 5-10 years. All things considered, Lacrosse did great coming out of COVID, considering it only lost one program, and we thought there could be much more than that.
Hartford went to D3, but that's a probably different discussion there.
I think that was happening before, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was happening
right
before
before.
COVID happened.
Yeah, that was like 2019, I think.
Yeah, that was planned.
So, yeah, I think there's a lot of programs out there where you look at the coaching staff, you look at what they did in terms of making a change and who they brought in, that it's like, I don't know what the outlook is here long term. All right. I think we covered everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like there hasn't been an update yet on the final, if there is a final at Hampton VMI. So it's either the game's in overtime or I think Hampton won. It's one of those two.
Something like, it's
more to come.
It's like 15
We
minutes.
have to keep sleuthing.
I feel like there had to have been.
I don't know that Maryland Princeton like final minute took like a half hour. So
Boogie is saying that VMI won.
Oh, did that just happen?
I mean, that's what he said this 5 seconds ago.
That's very. There you go.
So I mean, he seemed like he was on it.
There you go. VMI is one, I think.
Probably.
Well,
all right. Shout out.
All right. Well, there you go. Good job, Hampton. One. Probably that's obviously their closest game they've ever played against a D1 team in program history. Progress.
Yeah.
We're getting there. All right. So as always, you can follow us at college_cross on Twitter. Follow us out. If you enjoyed all this, if you enjoyed our cameo appearance from Chris, if you enjoyed Safe hopping on before too, if you enjoyed Jake and I suffering, what should people do with this video and the last video?
Smash that like button.
Smash that like button. Subscribe. We're on this every Saturday.
Not already. Yeah, go like the last video. Go like this video and the last video, the first stream.
Yep.
So like all the videos, subscribe. If you like the video enough, Chris might come back.
Unlike my wife who left me.
There it is.
There's
By April, we might have him literally coming on in the middle of the NHL and TNT intermission during the playoffs, which would be
there you go.
Content.
I'll be walking back at Selection Sunday, like, boys, I think Syracuse got robbed.
You need to
and
subscribe again. If you accidentally unsubscribe,
smash the subscribe button again. Make sure you are subscribed.
All right. I'm really glad. Listen. Some may ask about like what happened to the cross commission pick'em. What I will say is at least we don't have like old like posts where we all picked one team to win and then they lost.
Like multiple outlets did with 2 different games today.
Exactly. I'm just looking at this now.
And they affected Jake and I's happiness. So
the only way to win is not to play.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. So enjoy the rest of the weekend. Enjoy U.S.-Canada hockey tomorrow. Probably don't enjoy the snow tomorrow. We've had more than enough, but here it comes anyway. So might as well stay hydrated through all that shoveling.
Stay safe out there.
Bye.